When she was selected as Bellevue Middle's Teacher of the Year, that's as far as Jamie O'Brien expected to go.
I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to turn my portfolio in, and then I'm going to go to the gala in February, because that's as far as I'm probably going to get. I never thought, never in a million years did I think that I'd be one of those top 5 people.
Now that she is, there's a lot more work to come, and she can't wait.
I'm excited. I am excited to almost be obligated to be more part of the Public Education Foundation and the Golden Apple Academy. And I wouldn't have even thought about doing that had it not been for this process. And I think that there's a lot of good that can be done, maybe a lot of good that I can bring that I had never really anticipated before. So it's really exciting.
O'Brien thinks it's her positive outlook that earned her the apple.
Nowadays, being a teacher, it's really hard to be optimistic. It's really hard to look on the bright side. It's easy to get overwhelmed and to kind of dig yourself into a hole. But I make a conscious effort to come in and to put a smile on my face and say, you know what, I really don't want to do these lesson plans, but I'm going to, and it's going to be okay. You know what, I really don't want to give this assessment, kids don't want to take the assessment, but we're going to do it, and it's going to be okay, and we're going to get through it together. We're just going to do the best that we can, and I think that's rare nowadays, and people look up to that.
It's easier for her to stay positive teaching something she loves.
Math is something that it's always come natural to me, and I just love it. I have a love for math, and I know it sounds cliche or maybe kind of nerdy, but I've always had this thing for math where I just love how things work, and I love how it's a puzzle that I can try to figure out, and I love showing it to other people. And that's one of the things about my Algebra 1 Honors kids that I have this year, is they bring a passion for math that I share with them. And that is just an awesome feeling as a teacher. And then even my regular students, how they come in, and a lot of them just don't want to be there, but then if I can convert them, if I can show them how they can do it, then that passion grows. And that, to me, is one of the best things about being a teacher.
My grandfather was a principal, and my grandmother was a principal, and my dad was a principal, and my brother's a principal. And my grandfather told me when I was a kid, he said, yeah, you're gonna end up being a teacher. And I thought, there is no way I'm gonna go into teaching.
18 years in the classroom later, Thomas Allison earned a Golden Apple as one of the best and possibly oddest teachers in Marion County.
Science teachers are weird, first of all, and so we try to make the class, in order to make the class interesting, we all have our little idiosyncrasies. I'm not supposed to say this, but the Galactic Council allows me to talk on certain events, and so being here on your planet as an observer is kind of a way to get kids involved, and so it's kind of a challenge from the beginning of the year. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm only here visiting, you know, and so that kind of goes into my persona and how I get kids involved in the class. It's like, prove to me that I'm not. And so they spend the rest of the year trying to do that. I tell the kids the first scientists were wizards, and so there's one thing I do in the beginning of the year where I throw a fireball at them. And I'm like, if this was the Middle Ages, I'd be a wizard, and you'd be looking at me and throwing gold coins at me. Now I'm a scientist, and I can explain to you how I did that, and that's where our knowledge came from, is the idea that, you know, we want to tie these things all together. I'm going to take a glass. I'm going to pour some water into the glass. My class tends to be real hands-on. I'm definitely not about the textbooks at all. So everybody saw the water go into the glass, yes? You know, it's anything I can do to get the kids up and get them involved, because if they're physically doing things and they're involved, then they're learning. I'm probably the only middle school teacher in Marion County who still does a full unit on chemistry. And so my kids, we still engage, you know, my degree is in science, and so I'm aware of, you know, how to use chemicals properly. So my kids will do experiments that most other teachers will shy away from. But to me, the payoff is, you know, it's fantastic, because then they're like, wow, we did something really cool. Being around the kids when they finally get it, like they have this moment where they don't realize they're doing it, and they're like, oh, that's what you meant, and that's probably the best part for me.
Learning isn't always done in the classroom. Last week, students from all over Marion County converged on the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion for the 2016 Southeastern Youth Fair. The fair as we know it today began in 1978 and has been helping the youth of Marion County learn about the important role agriculture plays in our community.
Westport is doing ag games, and what we do is we just want to have let the kids have a good time and teach them about agriculture. We let them do lasso the cow and stuff, and we want to teach them that agriculture is important, and just let them know it's a lot of fun, because most people, they would think, oh, farming's just not fun. So we just want them to have a really good time here and just see what it's all about. And it just lets them just get a glimpse of what we do. And then when they get to middle school, they can show their chapter animals in the fair, and that's what I did. So I got to show a heifer, and it was a lot of fun. You really get to learn about the animals and what it takes to take care of all the animals and how much it really costs. And when you get to high school, it's a little bit more serious. You do a lot more serious competitions.
Responsibility, record keeping, marketing, and communication are just a few of the life skills learned by the exhibitors. Exhibitors not only learn a thing or two, the older students get involved in teaching the younger students about the many aspects of agriculture, including how to milk a goat.
She actually has a milk vein that transports it from there to her udders. That's a good question.
The not-for-profit event is made possible by the generosity of local citizens, businesses, and organizations. The week-long event culminates with an auctioning off of the livestock raised and great educational time being had by everyone involved.
Really want to teach kids how important agriculture is and how fun it is to be engaged with the animals and just to be engaged in other opportunities that agriculture presents.
Although the first week in February has come and gone without much fanfare, we recognize the important role school counselors play in the education process.
The American School Counseling Association recognizes the first week in February as National School Counseling Week. And it just is an opportunity for us to recognize our school counselors, not only in our district, but nationwide, and highlight all the things that they do for not only their students, but our schools as well. Primarily, counselors do so much, but their primary goal is they help students and their families with the barriers that they face to be able to achieve what they want to achieve. School counselors are kind of the hub of a lot of what happens at a school, ranging from all of the different programs that are available to students at a school, as well as what happens in the classroom. Counselors are kind of the hub to kind of make a lot of those things happen, ranging from supporting students in parent-teacher conferences, to working with teachers on how they're doing academically, to making sure that if a student happens to have an intervention, that they're working with a teacher to make sure that's being done properly. So yeah, they're kind of the hub of a lot of different things at a school that have to happen for the student to be as successful as they possibly can. In Marion County, we have 97 school counselors that serve our district of over 42,000 students. And our ratios are high, but what our counselors are able to do with their students is pretty amazing.
March 2nd is Theodore Geisel's birthday, and at Harborview they are having a celebration to honor his work. You may know him better as Dr. Seuss.
At our school, we are celebrating a Seuss celebration. We're celebrating Dr. Seuss. We're doing activities for the entire month. Today just happens to be a culminating carnival. The classes of students from pre-K to third grade at our school are traveling around to 4 different worlds: Artsville, Booksville, Sports Junction, and Seuss Cafe. They have 15 minutes for each area, and at each area there are various activities and things for them to do. The children have seen a show or a PowerPoint and talked with their teachers days before, the 2 days before, in order to see all their choices so that they can make good choices, because they only have time for about 2 things. So today is about having fun, celebrating the books, because each activity is based on one of Dr. Seuss's books, and they choose 2 or 3 things to do at each area.
Judging by the looks on the kids' faces, and to quote the good doctor himself, "If you never did, you should. These things are fun, and fun is good." This event could be considered a rousing success.
I am amazed at how the teachers have really incorporated the event. It isn't just another thing to do. They've really incorporated the event into their classrooms and into their activities, being able to do STEM activities. It's just, this is an amazing school, and I'm so glad I'm here at Harborview. We have great spirit, and like I said, the teachers, the students, they've just really embraced all of this.